Welcome to the Axon and EDC data governance course. I am Kapil and I am excited to guide you through the fascinating world of data governance and how tools like Axon and EDC can revolutionize the way organizations manage, govern, and utilize their data. So, in this course, we will explore what is Axon, what is EDC, and what is the difference between Axon and EDC, and why these tools are much talked nowadays. So let's come to what is Axon. Axon Data Governance is a platform by Informatica that provides a centralized and a collaborative environment for effective data governance. It enables organizations to govern their data effectively by establishing policy, maintaining data quality, ensuring compliance with the regulatory requirements. Axon serves as a bridge between business user and IT teams, allowing them to collaborate seamlessly on the data governance initiatives. So this is the Axon data governance. I pasted a small screenshot of the tool, how it looks like. So here we can see it has data sets, attributes, system, glossary, data quality, people, regulation, regulator, regulatory, client, capabilities, business, product, committee, policy, project, active task, and physical. So we'll discuss about all the features of the tools in the upcoming slides. So before moving to that, let's discuss about what help Axon provides a tool as a tool to in a data governance framework. So Axon help in defining the data domains, it helps in assigning data steward roles, it helps in create a data governance policies, monitor data quality and compliance as well as in security. So transitioning forward, how it empowers an organization to define and manage business terms, how it establishes data lineage, how it enforces data quality rules, how it promotes collaboration and ensure consistency across your organization. We will look into all these topics in this course. So before proceeding to the next, let's discuss about the key feature of Exxon data governance. So here you can see these are all the features which we have listed in this presentation, which is helping Axon as a data governance framework for the organizations. So first and foremost, this is a centralized tool. This is a centralized data governance. It acts as a single repository for all your data governance related information, it including policies, data definitions, and data lineages. It can collaborate across the teams. So in organization, we all know that we have business teams, we have IT teams, we have functional teams. So it facilitates that collaboration using workflows, task, dashboard to manage data assets and access them. The most important feature of this tool, data discovery and cataloging. So it helps identify and catalog critical data assets, which tables, which data sets are the most important in any organization, making it easier for the user to discover them, to understand the data across your organization. So this helps in doing the cataloging of the data. Next comes the policy management. So each organization to define and enforce the data policies, standards, and compliance rule on their data. It's not like it's the data is not for all of us to look into. So there should be specific policy management on that data. So how it empowers that? It provide a rule-based access. So provide access control to ensure that right people have the access to the appropriate data and the governance capabilities. So it provides it facilitate that part also. The other important thing is data lineage and the impact analysis. So this is the most important, how your data is flowing across the systems from your application, from your processes, from your cloud warehouses, making it easier to understand how the change affects the organization. So let's say your data has some lineages coming from a cloud warehouse system to from the legacy system. So what are the changes? What are the transformation rules you have placed inside your Informatica? This also helps the capacity capabilities to look into those kind of transformative rules. What are the transformations done on those data? So data lineage and impact analysis is a very key feature provided by Exxon. Now, not only this, it integrates with the wider Informatica stack. So it seamlessly connect with your enterprise data catalog, the other tools for the end-to-end data management. And not only it connects to the Informatica stack, it also connect to the third-party tools as well. We'll see all these in the upcoming sections. Next, coming to the business glossary. So this is the most important feature of Axon. Again, a very important thing. Business glossary or a business terminology. So it provides a comprehensive glossary of business terms and their definition, ensuring the consistent terminology is utilized across an organization. So your all teams talk in a same vocab. It's not like if we have employee ID in one table and imp in the another table. So both imp and employee ID means the ID in an organization. But what is happening? Each business team has storing their the meaning of the business data in a separate table in a separate way. So what how this help is, it once we scan these kind of data and we map these kind of columns, we will reduce the technical metadata storage in the system. So we'll see how we can do this, but again this is maintaining a comprehensive glossary of business terms and their definition across the system. Now comes to the metrics and dashboard, the other very important feature of Axon. So it offers a visual dashboards to track data governance metrics, including data quality, policy adherence, and the project progress. So metrics and dashboards is again a very important thing. As more and more data comes into these framework of data governance, the metrics automatically updates. You can automatically see how many assets are scanned into the systems, how many tables are yesterday. For example, 163 tables were we see yesterday in the data governance framework. Now it has increased to 200 tables. So these dashboards are automatically updated. So this is again a very good feature of Exxon which it's provide to us. The next important thing is the marketplace feature. So how marketplace act? Marketplace is it's an ecosystem. You have managed your data management solutions, you have done it, designed it to enhance the collaboration, governance, and the data driven decisions are making across the decisions. So marketplace helps in sending those data sets to the various teams. So whatever teams require, it can just add to cart, hit that add to cart button, and it will get that data sets in for their utilization into the team. So it acts as a kind of an app store which is for your organization. Place is an ecosystem of data management designed to enhance collaboration, governance, and data driven decision making across the organization. So Axon Marketplace is a very important feature provided by Axon tool, which help in creating, managing, sharing the catalog of reusable data governance templates. Collaboration hub, it facilitates the collaboration among different team, business teams, IT teams, departments within the organizations. It also increases the efficiencies. So it you can consider this as an output of this tool, which increases the efficiency, reduces the time and efforts required to create a governance asset from scratch. So any new system is coming, we can easily use the templates, we can easily integrate with Axon. So it can seamlessly integrate with other Axon data governance feature to enhance overall governance workflow. So use cases can be like policy management, sharing and managing company-wide data policy to ensure regulatory compliance. Data stewards also get help out of this. It empowers data stewards to adopt and customize the governance workflow, onboarding new teams or the new systems which are coming to the Axon platform. So it helps in that also. So cross department collaboration is again the another feature. It enhances the coordination by sharing governance template and processes across the team. So these are all the features of Axon. So now let's discuss briefly about what EDC is. So EDC offer a holistic view of your organization data. How it gives a holistic view? It again enables data discovery, understanding, and utilization of data. It ensures improved data quality with accuracy, consistency, and a reliable data. It acts as a single source of data driven decision. How it helps? It helps in scanning the resource, it helps in creation of the resource, it helps in cataloging capability, security, data lineage, and impact. So these are some of the things which EDC provides. So we discussed about Axon, we discussed about EDC. This is a small snapshot of the tool which we have pasted here. We'll discuss more about the UI of the tool in the coming sessions. So let's discuss about what is the difference, like how the both of the tools create an ecosystem of the data governance. So basically, Axon stores the business metadata. Axon stores business metadata while EDC stores the technical metadata. So integrating Axon and EDC helps user to get the holistic view and reduces the gap between the business user and the technical user teams. So from a governance perspective, integrating with EDC helps answers the following questions, like where does the data physically resides, like where are our source systems which we have to scan, where is our data coming from. So these all answers are coming from the EDC tool. What are the transformation this data has gone through? So let's say in Informatica, we have applied some of the transformation. So since EDC helps in accessing the technical metadata, it can also gives us a view about how much amount of transformation a data has been gone through while migrating from legacy systems to the final source systems. So if business metadata is often derived from technical metadata. So this is the business metadata which is often coming from the technical metadata. So if technical metadata is properly cataloged, then an integration between the two metadata will give a proper framework, will make it easier to derive the business metadata. So this is the main help, like from technical metadata, business metadata is going to get derived. So this is the advantage of integrating both Axon and EDC together. So now let's come to the data governance challenges, like how the old data governance work and what are the new data governance principles. So old data governance is like a top down approach which some committee in any organization push. It pushes the policies and standard downwards. It controls the policies. uh, it has single focus on the data. So it the in the old data governance, it was like more policies you will push, the more governance it will become. The success is measured like that: more policies, more governance, more success, more rules, more standards. So committees are working in that way. But the new data governance does not work in that way. New data governance principles are dynamic and distributed. It is democratized. In this, all teams have to participate in your data framework, in your data governance framework. If multiple teams will participate, then only it is going to get successful. So business understanding should be there. So and the new way of working, so that alignment automatically comes by default. So what are the traditional failure point of data governance? Sustaining business supports. So any data governance project or any project in any organization needs a business support. A business buy-in is needed. If data governance initiatives are to be sustained and sponsored for the long term, it should come in a form of resources, capital acquisition request should be approved from the leadership, so that the your project can be sustained and sponsored for a long term. Now already data governance project does not demonstrate a heavy ROI within a smaller time span, because data governance projects are a life cycle of a data. These are the iterative kind of things which take some time. So demonstrating ROI within a data governance space is little bit challenging task. So that was the failure point for the data governance projects. The another thing is to create an actionable solution. So when you implement a data governance solution, it mostly tend to expose the issues like certain amount of source systems are not coming, certain teams are not giving their data sets to us, there is a lineage breakdown, and there etc. There are certain other things. So without solving the issue, it is just exposing the issue. So any project, if it's only exposing the issue, no one likes that project. Everyone likes about the solution. Nobody wants to always talk about the problems. So data governance projects are a bit difficult, but this new way of doing data governance is dynamic, distributed, it's democratized, it's a new way of working. And the answer to all this problem is Axon. So if we can apply an Axon and EDC, we can integrate it properly, then we can get a solution out of this. So now we discussed about the traditional failure point of the data governance, but what is the solution for to prevent these kind of failures for any organization? So there is a three-step process in understanding the importance of a data governance projects in any organization, how to prevent the traditional failure point of any data governance project. So how it can be make successful. So there are three things, three C's we can say: catalog, connect, and control. What is cataloging? Cataloging is very easy. We are not asking anyone to model anything. Catalog is a simple list of things. It can be list of glossaries, list of system, list of peoples. So all of these, both the tools will help us in doing the cataloging, and then we will move towards the connect. So there is a connect, coming together to create a community. So we will be creating a community of all the different teams. Business teams are coming together, IT teams, functional teams. So there is going to be a connect. The third step is the controlling this community. So let's say, for example, in WhatsApp, someone is going to get create a community group. Then there should be some admin who are going to have a user control, who is going to monitor the data quality, who is going to configure some automated workflow for both the business teams and the tech teams. So these all three things are fulfilled by our Axon and EDC integration in the data governance framework. So now there's one more beautiful things coming out of this control thing is automatic association of business glossary terms. How this happens? So Informatica Enterprise Data Catalog allows for an easy import of business glossary assets such as terms, policies, and classifications from Informatica Axon. So EDC integrates with Axon. It is helping us in automatic association of the business glossary term. So it add a rich business context to the data by automatically associating a business terms with the right technical metadata. So eliminating a tedious manual process, and it allow business and IT stewards to collaboratively manage business metadata that includes efficient human workflow automation. So this functionality will automatically come to the systems. So we see that we created a data framework, data governance framework within the organization. Now there should be a regular collaboration is required in order to, because see data governance is a iterative process, it is a life cycle. So it should always be in a collaborative mode, centrally monitored to form a collaborative governance workbench, which both of these tools will definitely help us in creating this governance. So it is like put it by all and available to all. So data should be put by all the teams and available to all teams for their consumptions in order to get an actionable solution out of this collaboration. So focus should be on business data usage, which makes it relevance and give it a value. It should not be that more and more data is coming. No data for data's sake, but that data should have a story. The data should have some actionable solution. When that data is given to some team, they should come out with some solution. They should speed up the business processes. So this is what a three-step process does in a data governance framework. So this was the solution. Now let's discuss about the solution framework for the data governance. So what is the solution framework? So as a part of Informatica stack, Axon always sits on the top of any data governance framework. So when we are establishing or implementing a data governance framework, Axon will sit on the top. And after that, Informatica data quality, the IDQ tool will come into the picture. EDC will also integrate with the Axon tool. After that, there will be a third layer where data integration, your DI, Informatica Power Center, IICS, IDMC will come. It will also provide us a tool for data masking, data archiving, and your Informatica MDM SAS tool will sit. So Axon will be on the first layer. This will be your second layer, and this will be the third layer in the Informatica tech stack. So we discussed about Axon, we discussed about EDC. So now let's discuss briefly about what are the capabilities of Axon, what Axon can do and what EDC cannot do. So let's differentiate between the two tools. So basically we discuss about the business glossary management. So Axon allow you to define and manage the business terms. So we all look into here like business glossary terminologies, vocabulary is a key a feature of the Axon tool. So Axon helps us in creating a standardized vocabulary across organizations. But EDC focus on the metadata and the technical cataloging. So EDC basically focus on the how to scan the technical metadata, but it does not focus on the business glossary management thing. So now let's jump to the next. point of difference, which is governance workflow. So Axon enable assigning the role like data steward roles. We already see this in the feature. So Axon allows us to apply a defined. So we see that Axon enables assigning a role like data steward and defining workflow for the governance policies. But EDC does not allow workflow or role-based governance capabilities directly. It is designed for the data discovery and cataloging. Now, next comes the collaboration across teams. So Axon promote collaboration by serving as a centralized platform for business and technical users to align on data definition, lineages, and quality. That is why Axon sits on the top of Informatica's stack. But EDC is a tool which is primarily used by the IT teams or the technical teams in an organization to understand the data assets. So EDC tool is basically a tool of a choice for the technical teams. So this is the basically the third difference between both of them. So let's talk about the data governance framework. So Axon act as a framework for implementing and monitoring governance policies, including compliance and audit tracking. So we all see that if we have to implement the regulatory compliance, Axon help us. If we have to do the policy management, Axon helps us here. So EDC is basically EDC lack any built-in feature like governance policies because that feature is already provided to us by Axon. So Axon act in the audit tracking and all other things. EDC is not a tool for that one. So now let's talk about the next feature, marketplace for the data analysis. So Axon includes a marketplace feature. We already talked about this feature in detail, like what is a marketplace. So Axon includes a marketplace feature where user can analyze, request, and access the data assets. EDC focus on cataloging and the metadata management without the marketplace component. So these are the basically capabilities of Axons. Some of them are available with the Axon, the other ones are available with the EDC. Both of them, when integrate with each other, forms a solution framework for the data governance. So let us now discuss about enterprise data catalog, how it can be used for resource creation, data cataloging capabilities, from which how many sources it can connect. So it can connect with different kind of file formats. As we can see, it can be utilized with CSV, with delimited, XML, JSON, Avro, Parquet, Parcube, MS Excel, Adobe PDF, flat files, and so file formats it can support. It can also support the big datas like HDFC, Atlas, Cassandra, MongoDB, Kafka for streaming and live data sync with the EDC. It can again collaborate with the cloud platforms like Amazon S3, Redshift, AWS, Synapse, Blob, BigQuery, Google BigQuery, Snowflake. So it can also integrate with the different cloud platform. It can easily integrate with the Informatica tech stack. Power Center, DQ, MDM, DIH, BG, ILM, Axon Data Governance, it can connect with those. It can also connect with the BI and analytics reporting platform like Tableau, ClickView, SAP Business Object, MicroStrategy, OBIE SAS. So it can also connect with the reporting platforms. Now, it can also connect with the legacy databases like Oracle DB2, Teradata, Netezza, JDBC, SQL script, SAP HANA, and stored procedure, as well as the cloud databases like Snowflake. And others also, like it can integrate with Microsoft SQL Server, Irwin data, these are data modeling tools, Irwin models, Power Designers, COBOL, JCL, Talend, custom metadata. So it can enable data discovery from multiple ecosystems. We can see that from Informatica, from file format, from big data, from cloud platforms, from applications, from databases, and from reporting tools. So this is the powerful feature of EDC to scan the resource from the different ecosystems to create a holistic view of your organization data. Now let's talk about the implementation of Informatica, Axon, and EDC, a concise guide. So we discussed about both the tools. Now, if we have to implement both of them, so what will be the process to implementation? So for any implementation of any project, so first of all is to understand the organization requirement. Why that organization required that project. So there should be some defining of the objective. Some governance objective needs to be defined, lineages needs to be created, compliance need to be built up. So assets, what are the current tools they are using? Because let's say if we are planning an implementation, there should be some current tools, practices, and the data quality which are already adopted by that organization. So we have to understand those data quality dashboards. What are the data quality templates they are using? Are they have some STTMs, some stage to transform mapping templates? We need to understand all of this, and we also need to connect with the stakeholders like data stewards, data captains, IT teams, and the business user who understand the organization requirement. So once we understand the objective of the project, then we can plan the implementation, which is the most important thing. And how we will plan the implementation? We will create a roadmap. We will provide them a certain amount of timeline to implement the data governance project. We will also estimate how many resources are going to get uh, we required to deliver that project, what will be the capital required for the project. So that kind of planning is done as a part of an implementation activity. We will also define the use cases, which all data will be discovered as a part of first phase, as a part of a pilot phase, how much data we will discover, what are the compliance we will enable for an organization. So these will be some high priority things, like let's say they want to implement GDPR, which is a prioritized use case. They want to discover data from some of the legacy systems. Let's say, for example, a ban legacy system is very important for an organization to get the data discovery. So this will be the prioritized use case for the phase one of the implementation. Then we will prepare the infrastructure. We will talk with the platform teams, admin teams, so that they can support Axon and EDC Informatica tech stack for planning the implementation. So this will be the first step, which once this is completed, then we will move to the next phase, which is the deployment of the Informatica EDC tool. So in the deployment phase, we will install it, we will configure it, we will do some POC, we will set up the environment, we will connect the data sources. For example, I have suggested you the BAN, so we will try to connect with the Oracle EBS databases, if that connector is properly working or not. We will also configure scanner. So all this will be done as a part of a POC for the deploying the Informatica EDC. Once the metadata start discovering, we will do the scanning of the structured and unstructured data for the metadata. We will also set some roles, like we will test some roles, define the permissions for certain users and at the time of deployment. If everything is successful, then the step 2 is going to get completed. Then we will move to the step 3, which is deployment of the Informatica Axon. So now again same process we will do. We will install and configure Axon. We will integrate it with EDC. So Axon has to be integrated with EDC because as we discussed in the previous things, like first thing is to scan the technical metadata. So if technical metadata which is done by EDC is properly configured, then deriving business metadata is very easy. So this is the second step. Like Axon implementation will be the second step. First is to deploy the EDC. If EDC is deployed, then secondly we will deploy the Axon, and we will check the we'll check both the integration are working perfectly. So this is done, then we will enable the metadata discovery from the Axon. We will scan structured data. We will define glossaries. We will take the policies, roles, because governance framework is part of Axon. Governance framework is part of Axon. It is not provided by the EDC tool. So we'll check that. Then we will collaborate. We will set up the automatic workflow for metadata sharing and the governance purpose. So we discuss about this here, like automatic associate the business terms with the right technical metadata. This step is known as automatic scanning of the creation of the workflow. So automatically when business metadata get aligned with the technical metadata, these workflows are going to get established as a part of deployment of the Informatica Axon activity. So once this is done, then integration between Axon and EDC will be tested. Link between Axon and EDCs will be created. Axon glossary, business glossary will be checked with the EDC technical metadata. We will take the confirmation from the business group. We will send them a business sign off emails, like if everything is working perfectly, if whatever the business glossary we are saying, the business teams is saying it is matching with the IT team. So business sign off will be definitely taken as a part of the integration between Axon and DDC. Then we will enable the data lineage. We will let the teams know how the data is coming from the source system. We will also show them the profiling results, scorecard analysis. We will extract some raw data. We will share them the DQ quality results and all of these things to the business, and take the sign off from the business teams and the IT teams and the functional team. In this way, integration between Axon and EDC will be successfully established. Once this is done, and then we will standardize metadata and governance policies. We will also create some proper templates that for this business terminology, this is going to be the technical data, metadata going forward in an organization. So this is going to be the fourth step. Once this is done, then we have to train and onboard the users, because this is again a very new thing. So now user training will be very much required. So now you have to train the IT teams on the configuration and business users on the tools, like how they can check if what are the business terminologies associated with the technical terminology. So business teams, IT teams need to be trained on the new tools. Then the adoption should be promoted. For the pilot cutover should be done. So once the pilot project has been done, some road shows needs to be planned to train and onboard the user, so that they can understand it and understand the importance of the integration of both Axon and EDC, and some solution is coming out after implementation of the data governance framework. Next step is to monitor and optimize. So we will track some KPIs, like we will check the data quality. We will also check the compliance which has been implemented as a part of this project. And we will also gather the feedback from different teams to refine our workflows and to update the tools. So certain teams will share their feedback, like, okay, this data sets is very important for us. Can you also add this data set into the current data governance framework? So we will gather more and more feedbacks from the different teams. So this is done as a part of monitoring and optimization phase. Once everything is successful, then we have to expand usage. So we already discussed it. We have to gradually onboard new teams. We have to do the marketing of this data governance project and the data sources. So we have to leverage the advanced feature like compliance, workflows, and the big data integration. We have to explain them like this is something which should be centrally monitored for a collaborative governance workbench. So it is put it by all and available to all. So if all team will put their data, then all team will have it available for the actionable solution. So we are not putting data for the data sake, but we are putting data for the organization empowerment. For the different teams should empower using that data. So we have to expand the usage. We have to properly explain them. We have to show them the use cases which what we have achieved by implementing the Informatica Axon and EDC. So this is going to be a next step. Once this is done, then we have to continuously do this, because this is an, as I explained, this is an iterative process. This is a data is a life cycle for any organization. So there should be a proper roadmap we have established. So then there will be regular jobs which will be running the data load processes. EDC resource creation will be done on the timely basis. New resources will be created. Multiple systems from the different teams are going to get integrated. Again, data profiling needs to be done. Informatica data quality tool profiling scorecards. This needs to be done in order to get more and more confidence into our new data governance project. We have to publish these results. We have to show them to the various teams in an organization. Then Axon configuration will be done. We have to do the reusable templates. We have to establish Axon marketplace where we will show the reusability templates for creativity for various features in the Axon. And final output will be the Axon marketplace, where everything your newly curated data is available on the marketplace to analyze and understand the data. So this is the way to implement Axon and EDC for an organization from the point of view of implementation of a data governance projects. So thank you all. Let's discuss more in the upcoming sessions. If you like this session, please subscribe to our channel. Please provide the comments, feedbacks on how to improve, what all the topics that you need to discuss in the upcoming session. Thank you all.